The silence that followed Marcus's words felt heavier than the station's artificial gravity. I should have left. Any rational being would have excused themselves, returned to their quarters, and filed a diplomatic incident report. Instead, I remained frozen, watching him work the cleaning cloth along the blade's edge with movements so smooth they looked like meditation. "You seem uncomfortable," Marcus observed, not looking up. "Want me to put this away?" "No," I said, surprising myself. "I want to understand." The council briefing said humans were peaceful. That Earth had achieved global unity before applying for membership. He snorted. Not quite a laugh, but close. "Yeah, we achieved unity all right." "Know how?" I waited. "We almost destroyed ourselves first. 3 times, actually. Nuclear weapons, biological warfare, climate collapse. Each time we stood at the edge of extinction and somehow, we stepped back." He held the knife up to the light, inspecting his work. "Turns out the only thing scarier than fighting each other was the idea of there being no more humans left to fight. That is horrifying." "That is survival," Marcus corrected. "Every species in the council reached the stars because they evolved on comfortable worlds. Pleasant climates. Abundant resources. Cooperative social structures." He pointed the knife at me, not threateningly, just emphasizing his point. "Humans? We climbed up from a death world where winter could kill you, summer could kill you, and the animals definitely wanted to kill you. We had to become apex predators just to survive long enough to invent agriculture." I clicked my mandibles in what I hoped was a thoughtful gesture. "But surely that history is behind you now. You have evolved past such violence." "Have we?" Marcus set the knife down and leaned back in his chair. "Let me tell you a story, Vrill. About 3 months ago, there was an incident in the lower maintenance tunnels. You probably did not hear about it because the council likes to keep things quiet." "What kind of incident?" "Pirate raid. Splinter group from the Corthian Syndicate. They cut through the outer hull, bypassed security, took 12 hostages. Demanded credits, supplies, a ship." His voice remained calm, almost conversational. "Station protocol said to negotiate, stall them until galactic security arrived. Standard procedure. Minimize casualties." My respiratory slits fluttered. I did not hear about any hostages. Because there were not any. Not by the time security arrived. Marcus picked up his knife again, examining the emblems. "See, the pirates made one mistake. They grabbed hostages from the human quarters." "What happened?" "We happened." He met my eyes. 14 humans, all civilian staff. Cooks, engineers, janitors. Not a soldier among them. Officially. He emphasized that last word. They armed themselves with whatever they could find. Pipe wrenches, cutting torches, fire axes. Then they went hunting. The way he said hunting made my skin prickle. The pirates had military-grade weapons, armor, training. Should have been no contest. Marcus traced one of the emblems absently. "But humans do not follow should. We follow can. And we can do terrible, creative things when our people are threatened." "Did anyone die?" 7 pirates. No human casualties. He said it like he was reporting the weather. Galactic security found the humans sitting in the corridor, covered in blood that was not theirs, sharing emergency rations like they had just finished a shift. The hostages were safe. The pirates were very, very dead. I felt my 3 hearts hammering. The council must have been outraged. The council was terrified, Marcus corrected. Because in that moment, they remembered what they keep trying to forget. That humans spent 10,000 years perfecting the art of war before we ever left our planet. That every human, no matter how peaceful they seem, carries the genetic memory of survival against impossible odds. He stood up, sliding the knife into a sheath at his belt. The movement was so natural, so practiced, that I realized he probably never went anywhere unarmed. The emblems on this blade? Marcus said softly. They are not decorations, Vrill. They are reminders. Of who I was. Who I could be again if necessary. Every human on this station has their own version. Maybe not a knife, maybe not emblems, but something. A memory. A skill. A choice we made to be better. He walked toward the observation window, staring out at the stars beyond. The council thinks they civilized us. That they taught us to be peaceful. But they have got it backwards. We chose peace because we know, better than any species in the galaxy, exactly what war costs. I joined him at the window, keeping a respectful distance. And if that choice is tested? Marcus smiled, and this time it was genuine. Warm, even. Then the galaxy will learn why humans do not have many predators anymore. We ate them all. He clapped me on the shoulder, a gesture I had learned meant friendship among humans. But do not worry, Vrill. You are one of the good ones. You ask questions. You try to understand. That is more than most species bother to do. Thank you, I managed. I think. Get some rest, Marcus said, heading toward the exit. Tomorrow I am teaching a class on advanced threat assessment. You should come. Might learn something useful. After he left, I stood alone at the window for a long time, thinking about emblems and choices. About a species that had weaponized everything, including their own restraint. The maintenance technician's files sat in my tablet, still claiming Marcus Vale was nothing special, but I knew better now, humans were always special. They just preferred you did not realize it until absolutely necessary, and by then, as 7 pirates had discovered, it was already far too late that I touched the glass, feeling the cold void beyond. Somewhere out there, humanity's home world spun in space. A beautiful blue marble that had forged the most dangerous species in the galaxy, not because they were the strongest or the fastest or the smartest, but because they had learned, through blood and fire and 10,000 years of fighting, exactly how to win, and more importantly, when to choose not to. I returned to my quarters and deleted my observation report. Some truths, I decided, were better left between friends. The human sat across from me in the observation deck, completely unaware that I was calculating 17 different ways he might kill me. His name was Marcus Vale. A maintenance technician, or so his file claimed. Nothing special. Nothing threatening. Just another human assigned to the Joint Species Station orbiting Kepler for 42b. But I had been watching humans for 3 cycles now, and I had learned one universal truth: they were never just anything. You keep staring, Vrill, Marcus said without looking up from his work. His hands moved with practiced ease, cleaning a blade that gleamed under the harsh artificial lights. Something on your mind? I clicked my mandibles nervously. I apologize. I did not mean to intrude on your ritual. He laughed. Actually laughed. That strange barking sound humans made when they found something amusing. Ritual? Buddy, I'm just cleaning my knife. Nothing mystical about it. Of course, I replied, though every instinct screamed otherwise. See, here is what the Galactic Council never tells you about humans when they approve their membership. They talk about their adaptability, their persistence, their annoying habit of solving problems by hitting them repeatedly until something breaks. What they do not mention is the way humans carry violence like a second skin. Marcus turned the blade over, and that is when I saw them, emblems, engraved into the metal with such precision that they caught the light like tiny stars. My 3 eyes focused simultaneously, a defense mechanism my species developed for predator detection. The symbols were small, intricate. A mountain range. A bird with spread wings. A skull with crossed bones beneath it. Numbers I could not decipher. Words in human script. What are those markings? I asked before my survival instinct could stop my curiosity. Marcus paused. His fingers, which had been moving with such casual confidence, went still. When he looked at me, his expression had changed. Not threatening, exactly. But, guarded. Just decorations, he said. That I am not an idiot. Well, perhaps I am for pressing further, but 3 cycles of studying humans had taught me that they never did anything without reason. Forgiveness, but humans do not typically engrave just decorations into their weapons. Each symbol must hold meaning. He studied me for a long moment. I could feel his eyes measuring me, weighing whether I was worth the truth or a comfortable lie. Finally, he sighed and set the knife down on the table between us. You really want to know? No. Absolutely not. Every survival instinct I possessed screamed at me to change the subject, to make an excuse, to leave. But I nodded anyway. This one, he pointed to the mountain range, is from my first deployment. Sierra Nevada mountains, back on Earth. Peacekeeping mission that went sideways. Lost 3 friends that month. I felt my respiratory slits constrict. Deployment? You are a soldier? Was, he corrected. Long time ago. Before I decided maintenance work was better for my mental health. He smiled, but it did not reach his eyes. Turns out fixing broken things is easier than breaking things that do not want to be broken. The bird emblem was next. This represents my unit. The Screaming Eagles. We thought we were so tough. He traced the engraving with 1 finger. Most of us were just scared kids trying not to die. And the skull? I asked, though part of me already knew I would regret it. Marcus picked up the knife, holding it so the skull emblem caught the light. That is the interesting one. See, every species in the Galactic Council thinks humans are special because we are stubborn or creative or whatever story makes them feel better about letting us join their club. He leaned forward, and I resisted the urge to lean back. But you know what really makes humans different, Vrill? We have been killing each other for so long, so efficiently, that we turned it into an art form. We made philosophies about it. Honor codes. We wrote poetry about the beauty of battle and songs about the tragedy of war. We built monuments to remember our dead and museums to display our weapons. The knife gleamed between us like a challenge. This skull? Marcus continued. It represents the Reaper Battalion. Special operations. The people you send when regular soldiers are not enough. When you need someone who will walk into hell, complete the mission, and walk back out like it was just another Tuesday. My throat sacs inflated despite my attempt to remain calm. You were part of this Reaper Battalion? For 6 years. 6 years. The average combat lifespan for a galactic peacekeeper was 2 years, and that was with superior technology and extensive training. Humans had been fighting with primitive weapons for millennia before discovering faster-than-light travel. How did you survive? I whispered. Marcus set the knife down and resumed cleaning it, his movements once again casual and practiced. Because when you grow up on a planet where everything wants to kill you, including your own neighbors, you learn to be very, very good at not dying. He glanced up at me, and for just a moment, I saw something ancient in his eyes. Something that had watched friends die and enemies fall. Something that had made impossible choices and lived with impossible consequences. The Council thinks we are harmless now, he said quietly. They think because we smile and shake hands and follow their rules, we have forgotten how to be dangerous. The knife caught the light again. We have not forgotten anything, Vrill. We just choose, every single day, to be something better than what we were. I sat there, my 3 hearts beating out of sync with fear and fascination. But the choice is always ours to make.